arm to lay the ball off the glass. Here's Chalmers. Led by Anthony to keep it alive. A 20-4 run for the Pacers. Chalmers with the runner. Kept alive by James this time. The Pacers with a 9-point lead as this third quarter comes to a close. 7-second differential between the game clock and shot clock as Collison looks over at head coach Frank Vogel. Ranger for three. Way off and shooting in the third. Indiana goes 10 of 18. It's a 61-52 lead for the Pacers. Wade unleashes. Rebounded by Collison.
Not a great look there, but Marv, I think this fourth quarter is all about Dwayne Wade from Miami. Obviously, Bosh is out. I think LeBron James is tired. Dwayne Wade has played just 26 minutes coming into this fourth quarter. He should be rested. He needs to take over this game for Miami.
Meanwhile, Indiana's at 10 of their last 13 from the field off the steal. Here comes James. Chalmers for three. Oh, look out. James went flying at a foul. Foul on Collison. LeBron James has come up big in recent times in the fourth quarter, but as you say, he has that look, although we have seen, despite the fact that he may be fatigued, we have seen him still able to turn things on.
They did it the other night in game one. Played the entire second half and just dominated at 16 points in the fourth, and there's two more to start this quarter.
The Indiana lead is now 7. Miami has led by as many as 9. Hibbert. Back taps to Jones. And they get the new clock. Hibbert set the pick. Dante Jones played by Dwayne Wade. Jones. Rebounded by Anthony for Miami. And James is fouled. Foul committed by George.
Well, the fourth quarter of game one was all Miami. Was tied going in to the last period, and you look at it, 25-16 Miami. They got to the free throw line 12 times. Fast break points. That's an indication of what kind of defense they were playing. So Indiana knows it's coming. You know, the force, the will, the intention from James and Wade to take over. So they've got to defend without fouling and find a way to score at the other end, because Miami's really going to pick up its defense here.
James now 5 of 6 at the line. The foul on George, his 4th. And George will sit down. Miami down by 5. Early fourth quarter. Barbosa and Collison in the backcourt. Hibbert, Granger, Jones up front. Barbosa fires. That was a three-point attempt. Chalmers able to control. Here's Wade. He was looking for a foul call. No whistle. Back comes Dante Jones. Barbosa just to get it past the outstretched arm of LeBron James.
And Eric Spoelstra is furious with the officials. He thought Wade was fouled. I think everybody in the building thought Wade was fouled.
Thomas trying to go behind the back and lost it. Oh, look out. Wade with a shove on Collison. Wade was looking to confront Collison, who just walked away.
I think Joey Crawford's going to call a flagrant foul on Dwayne Wade, and I think it's deserved. He just looked like a free safety lining up a receiver here. Here's the non-call. And you know what? Jones went straight up. And I think Wade just anticipated the call. Then look at this. Wade just tees off on Collison.
And they say no flagrant.
No, I think it is a flagrant. Yeah, flagrant.
Oh, now they say flagrant. Okay. So 2 shots and possession.
Dwayne Wade arguing with Ed Malloy here, and when you take a look at the flagrant foul rules, unnecessary contact committed by a player against an opponent, no question that was unnecessary. Wade really just leveled Collison. But you know, after game 1, I think the Pacers felt like they were on the wrong end of a few calls in the fourth quarter. Similar plays where there was some contact where things went against them. You know, I think it's up to Miami now to play through the same thing.
9-point Indiana lead. Granger got the step and then rejected. Granger. Hibbert on a back tap, but it's handled by Chalmers.
Hibbert could have just grabbed the ball. There was nobody near him.
Chalmers for Anthony. And the recovery by Chalmers. Good hustle by Mario Chalmers.
Definitely a sense of desperation from the Heat that we didn't see much of in that third quarter.
Shot clock to 6. Collison, offensive foul. Basket will not count.
I think Benny Adams called Roy Hibbert on a moving screen as Collison tried to drive around him. But you take a look at the replay. Here comes the drive, and he's actually kind of. No, that's no question. He levels Chalmers with that elbow.
If this is the speed of the iPhone 4S on AT&T, what does 4G speed on T-Mobile look like? Want to see it again?
Game 3 in Indianapolis Thursday night. Here is Wade, able to go glass. Wade, prior to that shot, just 3 for 13.
Yeah, and you can tell that Eric Spoelstra knows Wade has to get going here in the fourth. LeBron, as we talked about, has exerted so much energy. And Wade needs to get going offensively, so a nice play drawn up there by Spoelstra in the timeout.
Pass intended for Barbosa, but a foul is called. It is on Battier. That's his third. Let's go over to Cheryl Miller. Cheryl.
Well, guys, Coach Vogel out of that last timeout really hammering home his thing to his team was we can't get caught up in Miami's desperation mode. Let's stay in the moment, focus, and patient offensively, guys.
All right, Cheryl, an Indiana team that has come from behind, down by as many as 9. West with a flip shot from deep. Here's James, accelerates, rejected by Granger. Granger is on it. Chased by Chalmers, able to break it up. And Battier sent flying. Foul called on the Pacers. That's their third team foul. It is number 4 on Danny Granger.
What a play from Wade after the incredible block from Granger. Both teams just playing so hard, but Wade ended up chasing Granger down and causing that turnover.
James gets inside. And James and Granger have words. The official Ed Malloy gets between them. David West being held back. And now West playing peacemaker as he guides his teammates away. David West, not a guy you want to get involved with. He, for a hobby and in terms of conditioning, is an excellent boxer.
Did not know that. Meanwhile, here's the play. Granger gets on the wrong side of LeBron. He anticipated that LeBron was going to run to the high post to catch the ball, loses position, and then you see what happens. It's pretty much Just two guys playing hard, getting tangled up here. But he tried to block the shot here. And James took offense to that elbow. Granger thinking maybe they were just tangled up. The old double technical. And now we play on. But for Indiana, Frank Vogel talked about the ability to deal with this desperation that Miami is showing. Normally that means getting the ball into the post and going down low and getting fouled and slowing the game down. But with Hibbert on the bench, they're trying to go into David West. But Joel Anthony doing a terrific job denying him the ball down there.
The double technical on James and Granger. And not that David West is going to throw a left-right combination, but
yeah.
I think everyone around the league knows his boxing prowess. Indiana ball with 5 remaining on the clock. Here's West, and he is fouled, hacked by Chalmers. That's number 5 by Chalmers. Well, we go back to December of 2008, a Pacer-Cavalier game with LeBron James on the drive and Danny Granger pulling on the arm of James. So they have a little history here. The two exchanging words, how to be separated.
And this is just game 2. You know, in these playoff series, when you guard the same guy over and over again, particularly two guys as athletic and strong and as physical as Granger and LeBron, I mean, they are going to be completely sick of each other by game 4.
Yes, sick of each other, yes. Look at the foul rundown. So Granger with 5. George has 4. Chalmers, who just picked up a 5th. 4 on Curiat, 3 on Wade and Battier.
Looks like Frank Vogel's just going to leave Granger out there.
Indiana clinging to a 5-point lead with lots of time left. 7 minutes remaining in the 4th. Miami trying to go 2-0 in this series. Indiana looking to take it back home at 1 apiece. James on a 1 bounce for Anthony, who gets inside. James on the follow.
Nice action from Miami that time, really getting the ball swung, and it leads to that offensive board for LeBron because Indiana's defense had to recover.
3-point game. Collison, yes. 6 points for Collison.
Ed Malloy just stopping the action there for a moment as West got tied up, looked like with Chalmers and Battier.
Wade played by Hill. Battier looking to post up, and the foul. A push is called on Barbosa. So Indiana now with their 4th team foul. The next one puts them over the limit.
So that's a half a quarter now. Shooting free throws. Look for LeBron and Wade to continue to be aggressive and try to live at the foul line down the stretch of this game.
Miami with 3 team fouls.
And Granger can't foul. Remember, he's got 5 right now.
Shot clock running down, and Chalmers rims out, but it's put home by Wade. Miami back within 3. Pacers take a timeout.
Well, it's getting physical. It is heating up here. Indiana trying to tie up this series, really bringing the effort. And Miami trying to hold serve on their home floor. This is going to be some finish.
Fouls. Well, as it turns out, he had 4 fouls. The official score apparently charged both James and Granger with personal fouls and the technical fouls when they called the double technical, and they just took them away. So James now with 0 fouls, and Granger has 4.
And that's critical, obviously, because Indiana needs Granger on the floor. But let's see if they have the grit and the toughness here to finish this game. Remember, in game 1, they finished the game going 0 for 9 from the field. Similar action against Orlando in that game 1 loss in the first round. So can they score? Can they get anything going?
Picked off by James, and now that is number 5. on Granger, looking to stop the fast break. He held LeBron.
And Indiana has to find a way to get the ball into Hibbert. He's re-entered the game. They tried to get him on a little pick and roll action. There's the foul, and it's not a clear path because Paul George was waiting for him. But meanwhile, LeBron goes to the line. We mentioned free throws the rest of the way. But Indiana's got to find a way to get the ball to Hibbert down on the block. The other night in the series opener against the Pacers.
James and Wade have 18 of Miami's last 21 points, and the Heat within 2. Just under 5.5 remaining on the fourth. West backing on James. Oh, beautiful move by David West.
It's the first time we've seen him take advantage of that matchup with LeBron. James is just so strong that he's been able to front and push West off the block. But Indiana finally found an angle to get him the ball.
Wade watched by Barbosa. Anthony picks him off. Here's Wade with the runner. 71-69. Indiana's lead is down to 2.
And look for more of that from Miami. With Hibbert on the floor, the Heat are going to attack him on pick and roll with both James and Wade.
He'll try to pull up. It's picked off by James. Puts the speed on. Tried to look away. But we get a whistle. A foul is called. And that'll send LeBron back to the line. West called for the foul.
Well, we talked about it. Indiana has to get the ball inside. This is their only advantage in this series is post play. But they just have not been able to consistently get the ball to West and Hibbert. That was one of the few times we've seen it all game.
James now 8 of 10 at the line and looking to tie it. You see those numbers, the combination. Wade and James, 21 of the last 24 points for Miami. George reaching forward and tied up. Tied up by LeBron James.
Tough break for the Pacers. George Hill was calling for a timeout before his teammate was tied up. But Benny Adams, Ed Malloy, Joey Crawford did not see it. Here's a look. George goes down. Just gets a little nudge. Watch George Hill right there. He's calling for the time. Maybe a split second before LeBron gets there, but kind of a bang-bang play. Great hustle from LeBron. How about the stamina of LeBron James? No rest in the second half. They've been doing everything out here.
And he's coming up on 40 minutes. And without a personal foul. With that foul taken away a moment ago. Wade to the crossover. And banks it home. Miami has taken a 1-point lead. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth. Barbosa, beautiful. He has 8 points.
Beautiful action on that weak side. A little deception there. Indiana posting up Hibbert on the strong side, and then a little weak side pick for Barbosa. That's the best penetration Indiana has had really tonight on a consistent basis is Barbosa going to the rim.
Indiana back up by 1. James fired from deep. And the rebound handled by Hill.
Got to continue to push the ball if you're Indiana. Way too much time to just stop. If you have an advantage in transition, you got to go.
West draws the foul. So David West fouled on the ankle, shoot 2. Battier called for his 4th.
Little cross match there because of the transition. LeBron couldn't catch up to West. Battier ends up on him and takes advantage of the mismatch.
David West 5 of 6 at the line. And a very good free throw shooter, 81%. The foul limit with 3:18 remaining on the fourth, and Indiana up by 2. Wade is fouled. So the Heat taking advantage with Indiana over the limit early, and again, 2 free throws coming up.
Well, Barbosa is on the floor for his offense, but defensively it's a really tough matchup for him with Dwayne Wade. And Erik Spoelstra knew that. Granger on the bench with the 5 fouls, so the matchups make it so that Barbosa has to guard Wade when he draws up the isolation play.
Wade is now 7 of 9 at the line. That was number 4 on Barbosa. Let's check in with Ernie Johnson back in our Atlanta studio.
Yeah, Marv, 15 minutes away from the tip. Tony Parker and the San Antonio Spurs, after a long layoff, hosting Game 1 against the Clippers in the Western Conference semifinal. Best of 7, 9:45 Eastern, the tip. Back to you.
All right, Ernie, 3 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Pacers have a 1-point lead. Here's West looking to add to it, and he does.
Beautiful play drawn up by Frank Vogel. Little misdirection. I think Miami thought that Indiana was going to try to post up Hibbert, and West just flashed in there.
Meanwhile, a beautiful pass right on target from James to Wade to bring Miami within a point.
I think if you're Frank Vogel, you've got to make a decision here. Do you bring back Granger? Because it makes your defensive matchups better. It would take Barbosa potentially off of Wade, and I'm not sure that Barbosa can handle him down there right now.
Shot clock down to 3, 2. Barbosa has to fire one up. Wade is hit on his last 5 shots. Moves it across as we come up on 2 to go here on the 4th. Wade with the step. Wade to the reverse. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Hibbert.
Here was that play. Just a little misdirection. Got LeBron to turn his head, and West takes advantage. But if you're Indiana, you've got to continue to pound the ball inside. That last possession, Barbosa ends up with a 30-footer, and he'll check out. Granger back in. Better defensive matchups for the Pacers.
Now 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Wade, rebounded by Hibbert.
They put Roy Hibbert in that pick and roll again just to get him to extend out. Miami can get an open jump shot almost any time when they run that action. Wade just couldn't knock it down.
Hill trying to use the pick. Hill fires. Rebounded by James. Miami down by a point. Here is LeBron. Puts the brace. Rejected. What a play by Paul George as he came over to help out, and then George is fouled, so he will go to the line and shoot a couple.
Boy, what action. LeBron with a spectacular hesitation move, gets around Hibbert, then the pump fake. He's thinking, I'm about to put my team up 1, and George comes out of nowhere, and here's the foul on Wade.
And that is number 4. Here comes Chalmers. James played by Granger.
I would expect Hibbert to be involved in a pick and roll here.
Shot clock to 3. Down to 2. Wade. James one-hands it, and a foul on Indiana. Foul on Granger. That is number 6. But Danny Granger departing with 11 points, 6 rebounds, but shot just 5 for 14. Had that one spree in the 3rd quarter.
Pretty good effort, though, Marv. He battled LeBron the entire game. He was aggressive offensively in the second half. Really brought his team back. But now for Indiana, you go back to Barbosa, which might help you on the offensive end, but it's a problem on the defensive end.
James 8 of 11 at the line. And both teams missing key free throws here down the stretch.
I think it's fatigue. I mean, this has been a wrestling match for 47 minutes now. I think both clubs just exhausted here trying to close this thing out.
misses on both. Run down by George, who takes a timeout. We saw Wade miss a free throw. We saw George miss 2 free throws. And now LeBron James, who has missed 3 in this fourth quarter.
Well, as usual, it's been LeBron and Dwayne Wade in the fourth quarter taking over for Miami. They trailed by 9 to start the quarter, but these two guys have just willed their team back in it, particularly on the offensive glass. You see how hard they're playing. Wade made a couple of jump shots and posted up Barbosa on that one. And that's how we're here. Pacers by 1 with 53 seconds to go. And what do you do now if you're Indiana? I think Hibbert and West are both exhausted. I still think you've got to find a way to go inside and not bail Miami out with a long jump shot. Remember, long jump shot can lead to transition for the Heat.
Leandro Barbosa back in bounds. Down to 45 seconds remaining on the fourth as Hill gets inside. He's trapped in there, flipped it up. Chased down by Barbosa with the new clock. Hibbert rejected and fouled.
Boy, I thought Barbosa had West for a wide open layup. Instead, he took it all the way to the rim. This is an amazing sequence. The offensive board goes Indiana's way. Great hustle by everybody on the Pacers. And right here, just throw it to West. He's got a layup. Battier was down. And in the end, Hibbert's going to have to make a couple free throws instead.
Foul on Anthony. Hibbert is 3 of 4, all back in the first quarter. 71% during the regular season, so free throws costing both teams. Indiana with that 1-point lead. We're down to 32 seconds to go, and Hibbert gets the roll on the second. Miami takes the timeout. The Heat in possession when we come back. 6. But Miami in possession. They're down by 2 with 32 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. James Jones checking in, and he will inbound.
Both teams going small. Frank Vogel taking Hibbert off the floor, and Eric Spoelstra putting James Jones on the court.
LeBron James, played by Paul George. Shot clock at 10. Wade curling in, came up short, rebounded by George, and the foul is given on Hill. Jones picks up the foul with 14 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Paul George, an 80% free throw shooter during the season, but 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, it looked like Wade got the angle. He normally completes that. The floor is spread with three-point shooters, so no rim protection, but Wade just can't complete the play.
It's George Hill at the line, not Paul George. So Hill was fouled. He is 5 for 5 at the line. And Conley hits the first. Timeouts remaining. Indiana has a full on 20. Miami with 2 20s, and both teams are over the foul limit.
Now, Eric Spoelstra will call one immediately after this free throw. Obviously, this is the big one for George Hill.
It is tipped to the backcourt. Hill chasing down. And did he step out? Yes, he did. He's trying to deflect it off the foot. And here's a look here as Hill puts the speed on and tried to save it, but stepped out as he tried to deflect it off the foot of Dwayne Wade. So Miami down by 3 will get it back with 8.3 remaining fourth quarter. Dwyane Wade has certainly had his share of game winners, including one against Indiana back in March. Knocked down a jumper with less than 2 seconds left in overtime to give Miami the victory. Wade has missed his last 4 shots after hitting 5 in a row.
I think you go for 3 here if you're Erik Spoelstra. You do have another timeout left to advance the ball, but very little time overall. You got to shoot the 3.
Down to 4, 3. Here's Chalmers. 24-second buzzer goes off. Game is over. Mario Chalmers shooting from downtown, looking to tie it. And Indiana has come away with a victory here in Miami to tie the series at 1. The Heat had won 13 consecutive playoff games here at home. What an effort by the Pacers, who were struggling in the first half. Could not find the range as we take a look at that final attempt by Chalmers.
Pretty good look at it. Nice play drawn up by Spoelstra. He elects to go with Chalmers. I think that was the right call because LeBron and Wade both were really struggling, and they were decoys basically. So they got the good look, but it was Indiana's toughness and grit that got this win.
Solid second half for the Pacers, and one of the stars for Indiana in that second half, David West, who finished with 16 points, 10 rebounds, and he's with Cheryl.
Well, David, just moments ago you were screaming 1 game, but so what? What does that mean to you?
Well, we can't celebrate over this. You know, this is not the end all for us. We don't just want to win 1 game. You know, our mindset is to come out and win the series. We're going to fight to win the series, so we don't want to celebrate too much just because we won 1 game.
Let's talk about that fight, because in the first half it looked like so many times Miami had a chance to bury you, but the composure you guys, you held in there, especially in that third quarter when you turned things around.
Yeah, I thought we were more aggressive defensively. You know, I thought we, again, just maintained our composure. We were able to get them off of some of the things that they like to do and to carry it over throughout the game.
Well, these first 2 games are any indication of this series. What should we expect in Game 3?
Again, we're going to remain aggressive. Again, we're going to play team ball, play together, you know, put pressure on them to beat us.
All right, thanks a lot. Marvelous.
All right, Cheryl. The combination of LeBron James and Dwyane Wade scoring 26 of Miami's last 29 points. However, the Heat scoreless over the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and this game number 1 of the absence of Chris Bosh.
And that will be the talk tomorrow with everybody. The absence of Bosh, what it means to Miami's offense. We saw it firsthand. They don't have a lot of depth in terms of scoring and firepower on this club. They're going to miss him. And now they're in a dogfight with this series tied.
And the Pacers with that dramatic turn in the second half, and they pull it out down the stretch. Both clubs missing more than their share of free throws, but Indiana holding on for the 78-75 victory. Thanks to our producer, Scott Cockrell, our director, Renato Law, statistician, Brian Taylor. This series is all tied at 1. Coming up, Game 1 between the Clippers and Spurs. For Steve Kerr, Cheryl Miller, and the rest of the crew, Marv Albert saying good night from Miami. After this break, we'll send it to Matt Devlin and the czar, Mike Fratello, in